Hey guys, welcome to the other video from today. If you don't know what I'm talking about, maybe this is the first one you're watching, you guys are in luck because today I'm actually uploading two videos at the same time. So if you are coming from the other one, welcome back. If you're starting with this one, after you're done with this one, go check out the other one. They are in no particular order, so one is not required watching for the other. It is all about choose your own adventure. This one though is a comparison of dash cams between Garmin's most expensive, highest end dash cam. This is the Garmin X310. This came out either earlier this year or late last year. This is Garmin's first 4K dash cam. So super high resolution, UHD resolution dash cam that Garmin has put out. And the Mini3, which is Garmin's newest entry-level, cheapest, smallest dash cam. And these two have a lot in common, and there's a lot that's different. And today what we're going to get into is exactly what you need to know about the Garmin dash cam range. And then at the end of this, of course, like I always do with my dash cam videos, we're going to do a sample reel of footage. But it's not just going to be from one camera. We're actually going to look at both of them together. X310 on the top, so 1080p on the top, 4K Garmin X310 on the bottom, and you can see exactly the real world difference between just a basic 1080p dash cam and a full 4K dash cam. So for all my dash cam fans out there, I hope you find this interesting and exciting, and with that, let's get into it. So let's start with a comparison between these two cameras. As you can see here, the Mini3 is obviously way smaller than the X310, and that's by design because with the Mini3, Garmin was looking to achieve the smallest form factor and footprint for a dash cam. Now, if you've been with me here on the channel before and you know how I feel about some of these dash cams, one of the things that you'll probably know is that I don't care for the Mini3 or the Mini series as a whole for a number of reasons. I'm going to talk about that in the standalone review for just the Mini3. But what you have to know between these two is that the Mini3 eschews a lot of features I personally really want in a dash cam. So that is things like, for example here, like you're seeing a built-in display. So you can still use the Garmin smartphone app if you want to control and set up your dash cam, but you don't have to. And that's one of the things I really like about the larger dash cams, because as you can see here, you can kind of control everything in the dash cam right from the display, the built-in display on the camera. So really no app required. You can change settings for the camera itself. As such, you can change, resolution settings, you can change incident detection, all that sort of thing. And the UI on the camera, ironically, I actually find the UI and UX on the camera to be way more intuitive than the UX in the Garmin Drive app. The Garmin Drive app, it's not as bad as some dash cam apps out there, which are basically unusable, but I do find that even the Garmin app, they shoehorned a lot of stuff in there, and a lot of it, like 90% of it, is stuff that normal people don't ever want to mess with or don't ever need. And then to get the footage off either camera, of course, you can just pull the micro SD card right out of the bottom, pop that into your computer, and you are good to go. I don't ever recommend people actually download, like sit in the car with your phone trying to download footage wirelessly from the camera to your phone. I just think that's a headache and a hassle, and it's just a waste of your time. The other thing that the screen allows you to do, you're kind of looking at the back of it. Sorry, you're looking at the back of it here. Again, you can figure out if you happen to knock the camera with your sunshade or the window visor or whatever, you can readjust the camera so that you can make sure it can see exactly what you want it to see on the fly. With the Mini3, on the other hand, and actually all of the Mini series cameras in general, of course, you are stuck with having to use the mobile app because there's no display on here. So that's for me, that's kind of a big headache and just something I don't want to deal with, which is why historically I have not really used the Mini3s or any of the Mini series cameras in general. So something to be aware of there. The other major difference between any of the large cameras and then any of the mini cameras is the larger cameras are going to have a built-in battery or a supercapacitor in them. So as you can see here, and as you've been seeing throughout the video, the X310 has been working, but I'm not plugged into anything, which means if you have this plugged into or set up on your windshield, and even if the car is off, if it detects motion, so if it detects, something bumping the camera, it will wake up and record footage without the car having to be on and without constant power having to be supplied to the camera. So that's a really nice feature to have as well, and I really like having that on the larger cameras. With the Mini 3, on the other hand, I go into it in the video, so I'm not going to get into it here. But the long story short is the only way to get the camera to record while the car is off is to use the OBD2 constant power adapter. Though the downside of that is this camera, unlike the larger ones, doesn't have the intelligence to only wake up and record when something has happened. So if you have this plugged in and constant power is running to it, you're going to get 13.5 hours or whatnot of the back of your garage door, of, you know, the wall in front of your car, or whatever it is, wherever you parked. It's just not, it's not as intelligent a system as what you get on the larger and better, more expensive cameras. And finally, the last big difference, of course, between these two, the Garmin's cheapest mini dash cam and Garmin's largest X310 dash cam, at highest end dash cam, highest specs and resolution and all, is that resolution. This is standard HD, 1080p. That's not a whole lot when it comes to video footage by modern day specs. I mean, even basic smartphones at this point are recording 4K video. This guy is stuck down here at 1080p. Now that is not terribly bad for a dash cam, because really these are just meant to be like almost like a, you know, like a home security camera for your car. And for like 95% of the population, 1080p is going to be all that they need, because even if you get into an accident with these small cameras, you can still see license plates, you can still see people, you can still see, you know, everything that's going on. It's just not going to be as sharp or crisp as obviously a 2K or 4K dash cam. All right, and finally, last point of comparison between these two cameras, where they are actually very similar, is in terms of their hardware quality and resilience to the elements. And that is one thing, I've said this, I say this in every Garmin dashcam video I do, because it's really important to me, because I live here in Texas. We get extreme temperatures in both the summer and winter. So in the summer,
everyone in McKinney is dead. It's hot in McKinney.
It can be up to like, you know, 110, 115, especially if you go out into West Texas, you're doing a road trip. I mean, it can be blazing hot here. And then during the winter time, of course, we can be below freezing for, you know, days at a time. And yet, in both temperature extremes, I've never once had a problem with a Garmin camera. Even our oldest Garmin dashcam, which is sitting in my RAV4 Prime, which also parks outside when it's at home, gets exposed to all of that every day. And I have not seen one bit of change in terms of the image quality and the picture that the image sensor is picking up and recording from. It works perfectly fine, as if it were new. Parking guard still works well, and that camera is about, I would say, probably 3 or 4 years old. So that tells me you will pay a price premium for the Garmin name. And to buy one of these over, again, some no-name Chinese competition, you can get a 4K dashcam out there from, you know, any random B-tier brand on Amazon for probably like the same price, if not a little bit more, than this Garmin Mini 3. But the hardware quality, because I live in a place with such extreme temperatures, I need this kind of hardware quality, because I don't want to be buying a dashcam every year. I don't want to have my dashcam die, you know, in the middle of a road trip, or even just driving around town because it got too hot, right? That's where these are critical. So with all that said, now let's move on to the sample footage reel. And what I'm going to do here for this one is the same way I've done dash cam comparisons in the past. What you're going to see is a full sample reel with no talking over the top. And then, because I've been asked in the past, it is true that YouTube has a bunch of compression that it does to enable smooth streaming for you all, and that's done so that buffering doesn't happen and all this kind of thing. But a lot of times you're not getting the full fidelity or full quality image as what comes out of, like, you know, my cameras or out of Final Cut Pro or things like that. So what I'm actually going to do, just like I did if you already watched my Mini 3 video, you already have heard my spiel on this. In the description below, I'm going to put links to a Google Drive folder. In that folder is going to be 2 footage files, and those are going to be the actual footage, like exported footage files from the cameras, so that you can watch that if you don't, for example, want to trust the compression algorithms and things like that to give you a faithfully replicated quality video file. You can go check those out, download those to your computer, and check that out as you will. If you just want to see, you know, very casually the difference, stick with me here in the video, because I'm going to put exactly that same video file in the video so you can see exactly the difference between Garmin's cheapest dashcam and Garmin's most expensive dashcam. So with that, let's go ahead and roll that comparison video clip. All right, guys. Well, that's about it. Thanks so much for watching. Again, if you haven't watched my other video, go check that one out on just the Mini 3. If you're not interested, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching both or one of them. I appreciate it. I will see you guys soon. Have a great one and take care.